Hey everybody, Steven here. So this is going to be part 3 of our how to model a house in ArchiCAD series. And in the previous video, we looked at how we can add some coverings to the walls, like this one here, how to apply it to a roof, also on some floors like this timber deck. And I also show you how to create some staircase. And we also looked at how to use the 3D cutaway to kind of help you model and visualize your house as you model it. Okay, so I think in this video I'd like to first create like a mesh so that our house is not just floating in space, so it'd be more grounded, and then look into adding some of the furniture to give some scales to our house. So here I'll have like some kitchens, living area, and some of the bedrooms. And if we have time, look into putting some dimension text and maybe how to set up some of the elevation and sections. I'm just going to try to keep it under 1 hour, and so it's not too long. So let's get started, and let's go into the floor plan by pressing F2. And now we're gonna create a mesh. When I made this design, it was for like a 8-lot subdivision, so the lot size were quite small. I think about 200 square meter. First, I'm just gonna use a fill tool, and I mean I usually use this one instead of line because it's already I can create a proper rectangle and find out the area. Do what I mean, so I can just that, and that's possible because I use the rotated rectangular methods. And what's good by using fills to look at areas is that you can just show area text and it will roughly give you well, not roughly, that's the exact area of it. And now I'm just gonna kind of resize it, bring it, offset the edges, and maybe 2 meters away, and that's 2000. And I'm going to do maybe the same thing on this side. And here maybe I'm just, well, 2000 is fine too. And this one I'm going to make 1000 because in the roof project is like a staircase and on this side is like a retaining wall. So now that I have this, what I can do, I'm just going to do 1000. I'm going to create a mesh by using the mesh tool here, bring it here. It's just like creating the fill, same methods. And if we go into 3D, we have something like that. So one thing with the mesh, usually when you start designing a house, you would have like a topographic survey. So it's just like a 2D plans with the shape of the land, and you get some contour lines. So it kind of look like something that. So I'm just gonna, so we look like something like this, and it will have different elevations. I'm just using the spline tool quickly to create some lines, and I'll just add another one here. Well, like that. And I'm going to cut same way that we did for cutting the walls. If you press Ctrl and mouse over this line, you get that scissor tool and you can just cut it. Okay, I think it's because the trace is on, so just make sure that's off. And I don't want to see, so I'm just going to make background, so it's going to show that color instead of that color here. Delete this. Cut, cut, cut. And cut. So now it's cutting to the edge of the fill. Okay. And actually, this one, maybe we're just gonna shift it like this. You can just drag some of the nodes if you want to remove them. Well, I guess like that's fine. So now what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna take it this mesh, I'm gonna make a copy, paste it there. And now you have to activate the mesh tool. So make sure that you selected the mesh, it will appear here. And if you press spacebar, it will activate this little icon here, just like a magic wand. And you just have to mouse over one of the line that you just created, and you click on it, press OK, and it will create like points on your mesh following the line you just created. And you do that for all of them. One little trick that I like to do to speed up my process is to actually click in between two lines, so it will create on both sides. And okay, so now if you keep selecting your mesh, you press F5, is fit to Windows. So that's your mesh, and now you can see that it has some points on it. And now the thing is that you can add like elevations or height value to those points. That's my dog. And so let's say this is gonna be increments of like 500 millimeters, maybe 250. Oh, doesn't matter. So I'm just going to select those points, change the height to, let's say, 1.5. So it's 1.5 meter high, and apply to all. So all those points along that line will be moved up. So now if you go back to S5, you can see those points have moved up. And I'm just going to do the same thing for those. And every time I'm just going to add 500 to it. This one, I'm going to do 2000. Select this one, 2.5. Make sure that the apply all is set so that it will move all those points. 3000. 2.5. Okay, now you see some of the corner of the mesh didn't move. So you can just move them individually if you wanted to, like in 3D. You mouse over the point and you change the Z. You can type in the value. I'm just going to type in 3000. And this one, I'm going to type it 3.5. And this one as well, roughly. Oh, you don't even need to type. 3. Or you can just reference this. Yeah. Okay, so now we get a mesh. And what we can do is to kind of place it where it was before. Just gonna mouse over there, click. And if I know there's like in this case, there's two elements on top of each other, techniques to select element that overlap is by pressing shift, pressing tab, click. So this one is the mesh that doesn't have the lines on it, and then delete. So now I got my mesh in my house. But you can see I would need to move the house. But instead of trying to move each element one by one, what we can do is to change the story level. So what we can do, go to story settings and change the ground floor to be around that height, because that actually the mesh needs to be on the sea level. That, and now I need to move the ground floor to be at let's say 3000. So that's the height, and you'll see that everything's gonna shift. And it didn't, of course. Oh, get it. It wasn't here that I was supposed to move. It wasn't this one here. Okay, so like the house has moved up. If I click on the mesh, I can hide the bottom of it, so it just showed the plane. And what is this little wall doing here by himself? Oh, so there was this wall here. Just gonna put it into ground floor. Okay, so now we get a mesh, and actually maybe I can raise the ground level a little bit more to, let's say, 2.6. The house has shifted again a little bit, and yep. So let's say that's our terrain. So here we actually need a lot of earthworks to kind of remove this. Or what we could do is maybe manually tweak our mesh so it's not that high. Oh, anyway, doesn't matter. What I'm going to show you next is how to do a little bit of earthworks. So I'm just going to turn back on the mesh. And so here I'll have some type of retaining wall at the back, and on this side I'm going to do the ground floor. I'm going to show the mesh. So I need to create a slab. Yeah. So that's going to be a same level as the garage. And go into 3D. You can see that slab is here. And maybe I'm just going to select Alt and hover that slab here. And I'm just going to try to mouse over the slab that I just created and pressing Ctrl Alt to inject the same properties so they'll be also on the same height. And now we can do a solid operation. I did show you that earlier for, I think that was the staircase. It's the same thing. I'm gonna use that as the target. The things that I want to edit is the mesh, and what I'm gonna use to edit is the slab here. Subtraction with upward extrusion. Press OK. So then you can see it removed part of the mesh. And actually, I'm just gonna push that a little bit, like say 200, to kind of give you that sense that there's like should be a wall there. And I think I need to pull that all the way here. Also bring it all the way to right. Okay, so now we have like a flat surface for our car to come in. As you can see, there's the some of the mesh hasn't been removed where the house sits. So it's the same process. We need to select that mesh operator, and now we actually need to just select the slab that's under the driveway, under the garage. And okay, I got it wrong. So you have to select the slab, that's the operator, and the mesh is the target. Execute. So now it's removed. And, ah, so now we need to do the same thing for the bottom part. Just gonna go back into the floor plan and have to trace. I want to select the properties of that slab, and I'm just gonna create it here. I know it's 2 meters. Add a node. All the way to and I need one more here. 3D. I'm gonna use that as the operator. This is gonna be the target, and gonna execute. Now same thing. I need to select the mesh as the operator, the target, and select the slab that's under the house. A quick way of selecting is by hiding a mesh, going to inside, select the slab, that's going to be the operator, bring back the mesh, execute. And that's gone. And oh, you can see here the mesh is still showing. So what I need to do is to actually move that slab. Let's say 200. So that's hidden. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. 200. Okay. And I think here what I'd like to do is to actually just change the height of it to, let's say, 100. And I'm gonna bring it down 110. And then I'm gonna change that to grass surfaces, green. And you can see here I've unlinked, so I could add another one there, and this is going to be similar to Earth. Press OK. Now they blend together, and what I could do is just take that, increase the size so they intersect here, so you wouldn't even see a difference, and maybe do the same here. Okay, cool. So now we get a base for our house. And here I think I'm just gonna move it to maybe just 100. So you have that retaining wall type here. I mean, it's not that nice. Anyway, let's see, so we get that. I think what I like to add now is a staircase on this side, and I know the drop is about 900, something similar, so I'm just gonna copy the staircase that's in here. I'm gonna Control C. Oh, I can just drag Control D, press Control to add, get that little plus sign, and click on one of the node, and rotate it and just put it into place. F5. You can see it's not the right way, so here I can mirror it as well and just drag it down. And here, if you wanted to, you can resize it. Ctrl T, edit the stairs. I just want this one to be changed, and it's gonna be 1000. Okay, and good here. So now I got my little staircase. And I'm gonna bring that here. And now I'm gonna do the same operation again. So that's gonna be the target. And the stair is gonna be the operator. Execute. Change the surface here. And it's this one there. Change to Earth. Where's Earth? Okay. And it didn't change. Of course. Let's get back here. F. Okay. Okay. All that. I need to have like some type of walls there. Wall tool. And number bigger, 200. Yeah. Why is it not showing? I think it's because it's too small. Like I said in previous video, when you create a floor plan, it actually create like a cutting line. And because this one is not enough to intersect with that cutting line, so that's why it's not showing. So way to show that is to go into the setting and they do project it. So now you will see it here, but it's not the same color as those ones because it's below that cutting line. And flip it here, or leave it there. What I'm gonna do, make it a bit higher than this level, and actually use that as the operator to move. Now we get a clean wall. Maybe we're just going to do the same thing here. And maybe for the sake of video, I'm not going to add that wall there, so we can clearly see the staircase is a bit nicer. But I do need a wall in here. And I'm just going to this is going to be the operator, that's going to be the target. Nice. And maybe I don't need that slab, so I'm just going to remove that part. So this tool that I just use is like a subtract polygon. You can do it in 3D or 2D. So if you're going back here, I select that slab there. That's what we just did. And let's say I want to remove this part there. Let's just select one point and you get this little icon, subtract from polygon, and you have that method. So you can just click here and voila, so you remove part of it. Simple as that. And I think I like to add a driveway there. What I can actually do, select that slab, absorb the properties, go back into here, and I'm just going to create a new slab. That's the length of the carriage width. I'm going to select that as the operator, and that's going to be the target. And I'm going to execute. So now, same thing that we did with the mesh. I get a slab in here, and this one here. And I'm going to change the surface to concrete. And I'm actually going to raise it back up. So I'm just going to select the properties of this, apply it to this one. Why is it not touching? Oh, actually they're on the same level, they're just not touching. Yeah, see, they're not touching. So now it's connected. And well, actually I didn't even need to do that operation because they're actually not the same height. So I'm just gonna undo that. And it's just like I created another slab on top of another one. Hold there. Set the properties, put the same. Because in the idea there will be like a driveway that's also sloping here. So let's say if we were to take mesh and 1000, so that would be like the slope of the driveway. Oh, I'm just getting lost. Anyway, so now we get a mesh, some retaining walls. That's the entry. Could just maybe copy this and slide it there. I'm gonna offset the edge, bring it here, so there'll be a path to our house. And maybe I can make it a bit lower. Yeah. Okay, and I'm just gonna add some furniture inside. Press F2. Entry. We have 2 cows there. I'm gonna go into object. I'm gonna type in cars. And I'm gonna choose this one. Need to change to 90 degrees. I'm gonna place it roughly there. And what I can do is to just mirror it and try to find the center of that garage door and use that as a reference to create my other car, but make sure that you press Control so that you get that little plus. So now you get 2 car in there. If we go back in 3D and we come around here, click on the garage, you get that little pink points, and you can actually open the garage there. And you can see our 2 cars. From here, if you didn't like that car, you could just select that and pick another one. Let's say you're gonna take a hybrid. Press OK. But usually it wouldn't take the same setting, like it's not rotated where it should be. I mean, it will keep in the same position. Not, so I'm just pressing Control C to bring it back to normal. F2 to go back to the floor plan. And one thing that I don't like here is that the line of the garage door need to be above the car. So I'm just going to select the wall and I'm going to change the display order to bring it to front. So now it's above the cars. And living room area there. Here, and I'm going to type it. Usually I just type in sofa. And I like to take this one. I'm going to choose move those two. And press OK. Bring it here. So now I get my sofa. I usually use the walls here as reference to center it in the room. See the little point there. And I like to add a carpet. Bring it here. And you can stretch it to whatever you like. And like I showed you before, the idea of bringing to front or to back. So this one I want to bring to front, bring to front. So now it's on top of the carpet. And I like to mute that. I mean, it's really up to you what you want to put in here after. Here. And I could do this one instead. And maybe move a bit bigger. I'm gonna add a coffee table. Coffee. This one maybe here. And then maybe I could have like a TV there. Rotate it. Get to center of this. And okay. Now if you want to see that in 3D, you could just press F5 and then we show the whole house and you move around and well, you'll see that it's actually floating because we need to move it down. But sometimes a faster way to visualize stuff, because you just want to work on this. So what I do is click on here and select this method. So that one. And I think when you select, you have to go from the bottom up. So from here to there, so you get that black selection. Because if you were to, let's say, go from top to here, actually it's the same black. Oh, so it doesn't really matter. I think it's if you change to this one, it's different. So I like to use this one. And you press F5, it will actually just show you the part that's selected in there. So it's just like a 3D cutaway, a quick way, but for visualization. And maybe if we were to use this one, oh, actually works the same too. And actually this one is a bit better because it cuts to the same floor level. And so you only see this. So now you can easily click on the element you just placed, and you can move them like 900 down. And actually the TV needs to be maybe 450 up, and maybe I'll add like a, oh, you call that, I think it's a gray, yeah, that type of thing. And we're gonna place it here in 3D. You can do it. Oh, okay. One, you can see here it didn't work because it's not showing element that were not part of our previous selection. So if I press F2, it's not actually showing. And yep, so now it's there. Place and it. Change the size to 450 and the height 450 as well. And I need to put that sent backwards so that the TV is showing on top. Okay, now it's re-showing the whole house. So I'm gonna go back here and select the marquee and press F5. This need to be moved down by 900. Need to put a minus there. Okay, so that's how you place some furnitures here. That carpet, let's see, I think this one you can, you can use a custom picture, or maybe change colors. Let's see, I'm gonna take some blue. Yeah, so I mean, that's how you can tweak your carpet color, or you can just add a picture. But I'll try to do that later. And now I'm gonna add a kitchen there. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna type in kitchen. And I like to use this one as a star. So usually that's how it comes like. Bam. And I'm just trying to think how I want my kitchen to look like. Oh well, I guess we're just gonna copy what I had here. So this one needs to be this, and it's gonna be like a gallery type. Okay, dang, I get those two, and you just have to put those pink notes here, the one at the back, place them in the corner. And those are all the appliances that's like already selected, but you can remove them and re-add them one by one later on. So it's all of them here. You can see if you go into the settings of the kitchen cabinet that you just created, you can just move along here and just tick on and off the one that you don't want. So let's skip this one. Maybe you don't want to show the dishwasher and oven for the moment, just to make it clearer on the drawings. And then you can just mouse over the element there. Sometimes it's hard to pick up, so you just move stuff around. And because you selected the galley options, you can actually move some of the elements around there. Position this one. I usually do a fill. A rectangle. The space between the two parts would be about like 1.1 meters. And I know that the width of that kitchen bench right now it's 600, so let's do 1.7. So it's just to help us place this kitchen. Yeah. Yeah. And 831. I'm gonna make that maybe 2.4. So I like to use fills to help me get my dimension correctly. And I'm gonna delete that. So I had my fridge on that side, cooked up here. So I can just bring this side here. And 800. I do it this way because it's really hard to move the let's say the fridge here and to be really flush with that wall. So instead I just use this and just resize it to the correct size. So let's say 800. So now I'm sure that this is flush. And this one here, it's actually the wall cabinets that's on top. So you can move them around. Try to get a reference point so it's in the middle. So it's lining up. So I'm just going to be pressing shift to lock it to that axis. And voila. As you can see here, it's a bit bigger because that's like an island type where people can cook. You can change the width of the kitchen cabinets in here, but the problem here is that it would change the two at the same time. So usually to add that little space, I just create another, I just copy that kitchen thing and change it to and I remove everything. I'm going to change to a straight. I'm going to remove the cool cabinets, the wall cabinets, and change that to 200. So now I get this little piece that I can add there. That's just a quick way for me to add some width to this. And I'm just going to place some bar stool as well. I'm going to bring one here. And like we did before, just going to send it backwards. And I think I'll try to add 3. So one technique to add more and they're like kind of same spacing is to use the multiply tool. So like you go back here, you click in the center, multiply, and you can either choose a spread, so you put the spacings between each element. So in that case, it will start from the center of that bar stool. So I think let's just say 800. So every time I move here, it will place a new bar stool every 800. But obviously this is too far, so I'm just going to change it to 600. Voila, so I got 3 bar stool, but the same spacing in between. And okay, now I need to add like a dining table. Yeah, type of dining. And I'm gonna remove those two and press OK. Yeah, it's really important to use like reference on walls and stuff. It really speed up your process. And pushing the stair in just to make the space look a bit bigger. What else do I need? WC. Usually I don't like to see this, so I can change that to. But now it's nice. And yep, type in WC. Okay, and now we need a basin. Add a corner one there. Mirror it. Oh, I think I pushed it a little bit because it's just under the staircase. If we were to bring back a section here, or even we can just do like I did before, but this time we're going to use the black one because I want to see the other stories above. 5. And oh, we need to move down all our stuff, but you can see there's a staircase. Well, actually shouldn't be a problem, you'll be seating anyway. But let's move everything down 900. Just gonna select all of those and type it minus 900. Now everything should be on the same level. Yeah, let's get it's good for now. Another way to navigate around instead of orbiting like this is to use this little guy, explore. So it allows you to use the WASD to kind of control where you go, just like in games. It's just like flying, and it's easier to visualize the space as if you were inside. See, this one actually I don't want it to look like this. I want it to be built in. Okay, it's not going there. I think I need to go into the setting, wall cabinets, press OK, and now it's appearing there. You can change the color of that if you wanted to. Let's say we want some white. Cabinets, wall cabinets, or just for to see the difference, we're just gonna put it, let's say, yellow, and you can see those are yellow. And change this one as well. But for now, it's not that important. We're just gonna go upstairs and put some beds. Control arrow up, and so yeah, not the living area. So actually, what I can do is just take this, all those elements, and copy, Control C, go back up, and Control V. And here, I select all those. I'm going to make a group of it by pressing Control J and then rotate them. And then we can put it into place. I'm going to mirror it. And maybe not, because there's a staircase going up here, so it wouldn't look too nice. But we got that. Here, maybe I can add another chair there. So, object, type in chair, and that type of chair would be nice. Bring it here, and make sure it's rotating toward TV. And I think I'm gonna put one more there. Rotate it. This way. That's a living area. And now I'm gonna put bed there. Here, type bed. I'm gonna have double the layouts, and I think I want to. This is a bit too big, so I think I'm gonna queen. Oh, double bed side would be this, and okay, yeah. I like to place it in the center of the room, so I'm just gonna create a line. Yeah, and I can use that as a reference. I mean, it just avoids me to do that little calculation. I think it's just much faster. And I'm gonna copy that, put it here. Mirror it so it's on this side. Copy that bit, bring it here, rotate it, and make it so it's centered. Trying to center at the windows. Okay, now I think I need a wardrobe there, walk-in wardrobe, bathrooms, and I think I'm missing some doors there. So I think I'm gonna go back down, take the cavity slider, I'm just gonna Alt and hover it to absorb the properties, go back up, and in here. So wardrobes. Go into object, type ward, and this one. Interior fittings, hangers, and you have to go here, show hangers. That was something that I only found out later, but it's really nice. Looks nice on the floor plans. And put into place, turn it. Usually where there's the black dot here, that means the back. Put it here and stretch it to fit the inside. And gonna make a copy, control, so same, control D, control, plus, bring it here. And I'm gonna do the same thing there. But this one I want a bit to be like corner, like an L shape. So I'm going back to the settings, style, shape, corner. Now I can just mirror it. And we need to have a WC, bathroom and vanity. Here, WC, rotate. I'm going to use the windows as a reference. I think I had one here as well. So I'm just copying and turning it. And now I need to have a shower tray. Shower. That's fine. Yeah. One technique to just really increase my workflow, instead of like, so now you want to, let's say, do a basin, you would click it again here and type basin. What I do is I'm just making a copy of an object, go into the settings, type in basin. I think there's like a one less click, but yeah, that's my workflow. Just to be able to really place down the element quite quickly. And I'm just gonna absorb one of the walls, so I can create this one. And then I can stretch the vanity to fit. Take that vanity, make a copy, turn it around, stretch it to fit. And here we need like a bathtub, so I'm just gonna same thing. It just avoids you to move your mouse and click in here. So you just do things with your mouse and keyboard. Bathtub. One. Press OK. If you want here, you can just use in here to rotate as well. Nice. And resize. So this one is 1600. Maybe it should be bigger, but for now, oh, we need some doors there. So I'm just like selecting that door, so I don't need to go here. Press the Control T to go into the settings, and this one I'm gonna use folding, and I'm gonna change the leaf design. So it was like this before, but I'm just gonna make it simple, and I want 2 on each side. Press OK. Mouse over. Usually it would go bigger, but then you can just click on the end and resize it. And now I'm just going to absorb the properties of this and click on the other walls. Move it into place. And graphically, if you wanted to, you could select some of the points here and close it if you wanted, just to make the room a bit bigger visually. And I think here we also need to move some of the, I think those 900 down. So let's go into the, in here, you can see those are floating. So what I'm going to do is select all of this and press F5. And yeah, so I didn't want the roof, so what I can do is just click on those and try to hide them so I can see the inside. And this chair is floating, so I'm just going to select this one and this one. So I'm just pushing shift to add some element to my selections, and I'm going to type -900 bottom, and those as well, -900. Well, blah. Don't worry about this. It's because the wall was part of the ground floor level, so that's why it's not showing. And this one, well, I don't know what it's showing. Anyway, looks all good so far. If you want here, you can place a mirror as well. I'm gonna do that. Just show you object mirrors. Go for round. Yeah. Rotate it. And this should be at the correct level, but this one, yep. And I'm gonna automatically change it because I know it should be 900 down. Press F5, and so I'm gonna use this little guy to fly in out of the bedroom. Boom. Staircase. That's the living room. What's this one? Oh, that's like the soffit or the roof covering. Okay, I'm just gonna show you soon how to fix that. Bedroom. Walking wardrobe. Bullets. And oh, where is our mirrors? Anyway, I wouldn't need a mirror because I wouldn't need a mirror. Oh, I'm dumb. The mirror shouldn't be 900 because it needs to be above the basin. So actually, I need to put it. So this is 900 high. So this needs to be at least, let's say, 1.4. I'm just gonna select those elements. So it's only showing the one that's selected. It's too high, so I'm bring it down. And let's this is too low, I mean. Set 400. And this one, maybe I need to make it smaller. And yeah, maybe I wouldn't need a owning there. Okay, never mind. And so this one needs to be changed as well. My mirror. Just moving things around temporarily just so I can select them. Is let's say 1.2. We can make it bigger. $700 maybe. Too big. Okay, so now we get a lot of furniture in. And if we go back F5, one of the way that I like to visualize it is by using what is it called? Control Alt A, filter and cut element. So press Control Alt and A. This will pop up. And I think it's so. Yeah. So you go to View, Element 3D, Filter, Cut Element, and limited ground floor to first floor. A. I will show you that. And if you want ground floor, it's gonna be like this. Good way to visualize it. Okay, and before we finish, I'll just quickly show you how you can add some text to it. Just go text tool, choose your font, create a rectangle, and just type in living. Oh, this one's gonna be lounge, and press escape. No, don't press escape. You have to press enter. Actually, no, you have to click on the arrow tool and click out. Yeah. And now just remove the wrap text so that gonna fit the text. Change the size to, let's see, 4 and color black. And bring it here, and then I just make copies. Control D and press Control. And this is gonna be garage. You can even just press Control Alt, so it allows you to do like multiple copies at the same time. Here, one here, here, and then I can just type in here. It's gonna be the laundry. Double clicking inside to be able to edit. Then do Control A to select all of them. And so kitchen. Then click on the other one. Control A, dining. Click outside. So it's flush. This is gonna be. I don't even know if I need an entry here, but the porch. And that's how you add some text. But I feel it's actually too big. I did 4, so usually when you place text like this and you want to change it all at one go, you go to the text tool, press Ctrl A, you will select all the text tool element, all of them. So if you were at other stuff, let's say in the garden, but you don't want to change them, so you would do Ctrl A, select all of them, and then press Shift and click on the ones that you don't want to select, so you will unselect them. But I want to do on all and just do 3. I think I want to add the laundry here, so I'm just gonna copy that element, bring it here, and where's the dryer? Make sure the black dot is at the back of the wall, and gonna make another copy here. The tech washer, and let's say 50. That's laundry. Garage text I'm gonna put right there. Watch entry lining up to maybe here. And then I'm gonna copy the text, go up, paste it, put one here, make sure text says bring to front. I'm gonna remake multiple copies. Yeah. And then I can just type in bed 2, lining up with the bed here, bed 3. Bathroom, or maybe it's just bath. It's gonna be like a storage, and if it's too big, just resize it down. gonna align to center, just like what you do in like a Word or Excel, just like center, align right or left. This is like an in-suite. And the master bedroom. Master, you can spacebar to back down. And voila. Oh, and one more thing that I like to do, I like to show some tiles like on the flooring here. So we go on the fill tool and change this patterns to so you get more options. So this color is to change the lines of between those lines, the grid, and this background color. So you would go here and click on where you want your tiles to be, and voila. A quick way to do it is to use the magic wand. If you let's go in the end suite, press spacebar and click. I didn't do what I wanted to. I think it's because that wall wasn't intersecting this wall here. So let's try that again. Fill, spacebar, and voila. So now this, the magic wand would kind of know that there is like a element here, and you will only it will use that as a reference to create. And actually, what I just say is wrong. It doesn't use the object, but it will use the walls as reference to create your fill. But anyway, that's a quick way to kind of differentiate the different rooms. And I'm going to do the same thing in the kitchen. And